Okay, welcome everybody. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. If you can hear me and if you can see down payment resource, grow your first time homebuyer business, then if you will go to the chat and just give us a thumbs up or type yes, and that way we will know that audio and visual are good to go. Okay, good deal. Thank you, Dan, Ashley, Carolina, Rachel, Blake, Eliadora. Thank you all. Give us just a moment here. We're going to record this and we're going to get started. We've still got a big audience logging in, so we'll give them another minute. Okay, welcome. Thank you everybody for joining us today. My name is Sean Moss, and today we are going to talk about growing your first-time homebuyer business. And in particular, we're going to talk about the state of down payment assistance programs and the impact that down payment assistance programs can have on potential buyers or for potential buyers. We'll talk a little bit about the first-time homebuyer market opportunity and some of the misperceptions that potential homebuyers have about financing a home and the home ownership journey. And then, of course, to combat that, we will talk about educating buyers about down payment requirements as well as down payment assistance programs. And then the fun part, the crux of today's webinar, is showing you the Down Payment Connect tool, which you either already have for free or can subscribe to, and we will clarify that as we go. But using that tool to enhance your marketing, to expand your reach, to educate more buyers, and to provide them with a solution or to illustrate a path to down payment help, a solution for what we all know is one of the biggest obstacles that buyers face, which is the down payment. So again, my name is Sean Moss with Down Payment Resource. We also have Amy, Tracy, Marcy, and Veronica in the background from our Down Payment Resource team. We encourage you to be interactive. If you have questions, please go to the Zoom Q&A feature and enter your questions there, and they will be answering in the background as we go. We will leave some time at the end to address some of those questions as well. If you have any stories about working with down payment assistance buyers, or if you've got a unique success story or something that could maybe be a case study, we'd love to pass that on to our marketing team and tell that unique story. So keep it interactive. We've got plenty of folks in the background that'll be answering your questions as we go. And with that, let's log in, or let's get started. So who are we at Down Payment Resource? We are a nationwide database and matching engine of all of the roughly 2,200 home ownership programs across the country, most of which are down payment assistance programs, but we'll break down in a moment here some of the other types of homebuyer assistance available across the country. We are ultimately here to help you connect homebuyers to down payment help. To do so, we partner with many of your MLSs, and we integrate not just down payment resource tools, but also down payment assistance program information and data into your property listing data so that you can see what programs are available, information about those programs, next steps, and so forth within your MLS. If we are partnered with your MLS. We have other webinars dedicated to that part of our MLS partnerships, but then we also have a subscription tool for agents who are outside of those MLS partners and wish to use Down Payment Connect, or for loan officers who wish to use Down Payment Connect to engage with consumers and educate them. Regardless of whether or not you use or have Down Payment Connect, today's webinar will give you some useful information about first-time homebuyers, about DPA programs, and some creative marketing ideas that you can take out into your own email or web or social media marketing. So ultimately, again, we are here to help you connect homebuyers to the down payment help that they need. Now, I mentioned that there are more than just down payment assistance programs, although that does make up the majority of homebuyer assistance. And even that category can be broken down further. I'll come back to that in a moment. But on the right side here, of all of the 2,200 some programs across the country, 10% of those are affordable first mortgage programs, typically from your state housing finance agency or local housing finance agencies. Those programs can be combined with down payment assistance. They can offer below market interest rates, higher LTV financing, reduced mortgage insurance pricing, and other benefits. And again, we have another webinar that is dedicated to kind of breaking down the nuances of DPAs. Today is about marketing and creativity. 5% of these programs are mortgage credit certificates or tax credits. They're not available in every state, but if you are in a state that has mortgage credit certificates available, those are an excellent benefit for home buyers. Life of loan, not just, in fact, it's not at closing assistance like down payment help, but it's a life of loan tax credit. And then, of course, 73% of all of these programs are some form of down payment or closing cost assistance. So I do want to break that down a little bit, because when we talk about DPA or down payment assistance, that's a very broad term that encompasses a lot of different kinds of programs and repayment terms and assistance types. So as an example, of all of those DPA programs, almost 2/3 have deferred payments. So you get the down payment help up front, but you're not making monthly payments for some period of time or for the life of that loan. Maybe it's repaid at closing, at sale, or if you refinance or you move out. 43% of those down payment programs are forgivable. So they're not a grant up front, but over time or at some point in the future, that down payment assistance amount, those dollars, are forgiven, essentially becoming a grant in the future. 38% of all of these programs are both deferred and forgivable. And that doesn't account for grants. There are programs that are just a true grant, a gift at closing, no second lien, no subordinate loan, no forgivability down the road. It's just a gift at closing. And then there are some programs that have a monthly repayment. So you get the assistance and you have a monthly repayment on the down payment loan, just as you do on your first mortgage. So that's just a quick breakdown. And again, we have another webinar dedicated to breaking that down further, but we want to stay focused on today's goal. So let's just look quickly at where these programs are available. There is literally no market in the US that doesn't have some kind of down payment assistance available, in part because every state has a state housing finance agency. Their programs are offered statewide. They typically have a mix of opportunities, from affordable first mortgages and tax credits to certainly plenty of down payment assistance options as well. Some states have more or bigger markets than others. California has more programs than most states, but that doesn't surprise us. Nonetheless, every state has some number of programs from at least the state housing finance agency and other opportunities. So we hear sometimes, oh, down payment programs are not available in my market. They are. We just need to find out which ones are available. Now, as far as what's going on with down payment assistance, or the state of DPA, if you will, every state housing finance agency has stayed open and remained open through COVID the last couple of years and going back decades prior to that. And in fact, in 2020 and in 2021, state housing finance agencies all over the country who offer statewide DPAs were having record years. And that is purchase business. We're not including refi business. They largely don't do refis. They're doing purchase mortgages with down payment help and or tax credits. So now that has come down a little bit in 2022 due to some other market pressures, rising rates, further inventory crunches, appreciation, and so forth. And again, we address those issues in another webinar. Nonetheless, that's all purchase business. That's a lot of down payment assistance money being offered up to consumers to help them explore home ownership or achieve home ownership. And quite frankly, that's a lot of volume of home buyers that are using these programs, successfully winning their bids and getting into homes with down payment help. We also, especially over the last couple of quarters, we have seen an influx of new state and local programs launching into markets all over the country. Currently, over 84% of all homebuyer assistance programs are active and funded, ready for the buyer to come utilize the program. And of course, homebuyer education can be done online in most, if not many cases. And ultimately, down payment assistance is still available and not going away. In fact, as you've probably all seen, there's even more attention on affordability and down payment help over the last couple of years. So, in case you've heard otherwise, DPAs are not gone. They have not run out of money. In fact, we're seeing more and more programs, and 84% of them are funded and active today, which, by the way, is a normal number. They're never all funded at the same time. Your states are typically perpetually funded, but there is some seasonality to some local programs, city DPAs, county DPAs, nonprofits, local nonprofits, and so forth. So let's take a moment to think about the mindset of new homebuyers or potential homebuyers or aspiring homebuyers. They're saving for a new home. They're watching the goalpost move. As they continue to save, appreciation outpaces their savings. They doubt if they qualify. They don't have enough saved. They want to stop renting. They're concerned about student loans, things like that. So we need to meet those concerns, those obstacles, real or perceived, with solutions, with guidance, with education. We all know that any first-time home buyer is going to need help navigating the home buying process. That's universal and timeless. We also know they're going to need help getting pre-approved for a home loan. We also know that we need to help them compare and understand both down payment requirements as well as mortgage options. And this is where, real estate agents, it's critical to have the right loan officers in place that know DPAs, that know them well, that do them frequently, that do them well and close on time, without delay, without disruption, and so forth. We also know that a lot of down payment assistance programs require that the buyer complete a home buyer education course. So we need to make sure that that expectation is set. However, we also know that certificate of completion, once they go through that 4, 6, 8-hour class, can be good for up to a year typically. So there's no reason to wait on that class. That's a great way to help convince somebody to stick with it. There is help out there. Let's go get you through a homebuyer education class. They'll come out a better educated client for you and buyer for themselves. And they will have met one of the primary requirements for down payment assistance, which can help cover their down payment and closing costs. We know that sellers right now are going to balk at an offer that includes covering closing costs. Well, many of these down payment programs will not only cover the down payment, but can also be allocated to closing costs, making it more likely that your buyers can win a bid and not have to ask for something that's going to create an obstacle. And then, of course, in today's market, we've got limited inventory, and we're going to have to help buyers navigate that competitive market, bidding wars and hyper competition, but also limited inventory, looking at inventory alternatives. Are there properties that maybe need a little TLC and down payment programs that can help them get in there with maybe a renovation loan, or community land trusts, or there are plenty of options out there. But we also know that buyers have serious misperceptions about down payment requirements. So we did a survey, or we participated in a survey and contributed to it with the Urban Institute a couple years ago. Now I realized, a couple years have gone by and it's been an interesting few years. Nonetheless, we feel like the results of this survey are still extremely relevant today. And we know that because we hear it day in and day out when we talk to real estate agents, loan officers, down payment assistance providers, and even consumers. So part of this study was to survey potential home buyers, and it was basically millennial renters at the time. We asked 3 questions, or the study asked 3 questions of these potential home buyers, aspiring home buyers. The first one was, what is your biggest obstacle to home ownership? More than 2/3 of them indicated that the down payment was their barrier to home ownership. Not surprising. We've heard it for years. We continue to hear it today. When asked how much they thought they needed to save as a down payment, almost 2/3 of these aspiring home buyers thought that they needed 15 or 20% down or more. Now, we know where that comes from, right? That's the magic number to avoid mortgage insurance, but that is absolutely not the magic number to simply purchase a home. And that's the myth that we need to dispel among aspiring home buyers. If they're going to give up because they think they have to have 20% down to buy a house, we need to put in front of them information that combats that myth and let them know that there are options like FHA, 3.5% down. There are conventional options at 3% or 5% down. If they're buying an eligible property, they can get a USDA loan with no money down. Likewise, if they're a qualified veteran, they can use their VA loan or VA benefit to get a VA loan at zero down. So that kind of leads to the last question of the survey. When these aspiring home buyers were asked, how familiar are you with low down payment programs? More than 3/4 of them had little or no familiarity with low down payment programs. That's not just DPA. The question was asking, are you familiar with FHA, VA, USDA, Fannie and Freddie, 3% down, 5% down? Those are low down payment programs, right? Mortgage options that enable home ownership from 0 to 3 to 3.5 to 5% down. So given all of this, there are obviously some misperceptions among potential home buyers that they need help with. So what can we do about it? We need to step in and be advisors. We need to provide educational information. We need to combat some of these misperceptions and bring messaging to their eyes, to their ears that overcomes these messages, lets them know that there is a path to home ownership, that there is hope, and that home ownership can be within reach. And we also know that buyers want to work with people and companies or brands who are going to serve, educate, let them know about things that others don't bring up or aren't aware of, and keep them informed. And if we do all that, we also know that they will tell their peers. So how can we connect buyers to these down payment assistance programs? Let me start with, if you are a member of one of these MLS partners, and we have more coming, even in the next couple of weeks, we'll be launching more MLS partnerships, then you will see this icon on eligible listings on both agent and client reports inside your MLS. In addition, you also have Down Payment Connect, which is what we're going to get into here in a moment. So again, if you are a member of one of these MLS partners, if you see your MLS on this list, then you can look for that down payment button inside your MLS. You can also access your down payment resource dashboard and get your Down Payment Connect link. Now, you guys are from MLSs all over the country. I can't show everybody's MLS dashboard, but you sort of get the gist here. Log in, look for your product menu, and just as you would go into your MLS system or use any other third-party tool, look for that down payment resource button. When you click that, if you're a member of one of our partner MLSs, you will be taken to your down payment resource dashboard. This is where we make our transition to the Down Payment Connect conversation. This is free, by the way. If you are a member of one of our MLS partners, you already have Down Payment Connect. Again, go to your MLS dashboard. If you're a member of one of these MLSs, look for the Down Payment Resource button, click on that. Your Down Payment Connect link is already waiting for you there. You don't have to turn it on. You don't have to request it. You don't have to provision it. There is no freemium or upsell. It's a free tool as part of our partnership with your MLS. If you're not a member of one of those MLSs, bear with me for a moment and I'll show you how you can get Down Payment Connect. Or if you're a loan officer, same thing. But there's your link. That's the link you can send out to consumers where they can search for down payment assistance or other home buyer programs where they want to buy a home within your market, connect with you to learn more. Instead of seeing all the details and links to other parties, we don't send them all that information. We connect them to you. It's your tool. You generate leads from that tool. So you're not buying leads. You're using the tool to generate your own leads and supplement your web, email, or social marketing. And we're going to look at examples of that here for most of the rest of this webinar. Now, that's how you get your link. That also comes with marketing resources. That includes, and we'll look at an example of this series of resources here, graphics, customizable flyers, video tutorials, access to our Facebook group, the Down Payment Insiders, which we'll show you here shortly as well, and all kinds of other marketing resources to help you get started. Even a social media training module to show you how to use Down Payment Connect in various social media platforms. Now, if you are not a member of one of our MLS partners, or if you are a loan officer, then you can subscribe to a super affordable monthly version of Down Payment Connect at downpaymentresource.com/DPC. What do you get? You get, in fact, real quick, I will throw that link in the chat box, or if I can ask Marcy in the background, if you can grab a link to that, downpaymentresource.com/DPC. And if we can put that in the chat, that's if you are a loan officer or an agent who is not a member of one of our MLS partners. When you subscribe, agents and loan officers all get their own personalized landing page where, again, consumers can come do a search for programs in your market, or if you're a loan officer, the programs that you participate in. There's no limit to the traffic or the leads you can get. It's your tool. You pay a flat fee monthly, pay as you go, no contract. You can cancel anytime. You get the same marketing tools, the same social media training, the same support. Loan officers, you also get a directory of all of the programs in your state or states if you are subscribing to 2 or 3 or 4 states, up to 4. And then you also can customize which programs display to borrowers, because we know that you as loan officers, you have the programs that your company has reviewed and approved, and those are the ones you can offer. So those are the ones you display through Down Payment Connect. And then you have a back office search tool and the ability to compare scenarios. So that's what you get if you subscribe to the paid version of Down Payment Connect. It's $24 a month for a real estate agent, $39 a month for a loan officer. And you can learn more, again, at downpaymentresource.com/DPC, including videos and a product matrix and more. So essentially, you get that personalized landing page where consumers can match to down payment assistance programs. That is what we want to focus on today. How are your peers around the country leveraging down payment assistance and using the Down Payment Connect tool in order to educate and attract new home buyers or new borrowers? So let's dive in. I'm going to show you some examples here, just screenshots, and then we're actually going to leave the slides here and we're going to navigate through some of these websites or Facebook pages live, because some of these don't quite tell you the whole story when we're just looking at a screenshot. So here's a very simple example of how to use Down Payment Connect. You go get that link, that consumer-facing link, and you can use our graphics. You can use your own words, copy. You have access to articles and all kinds of resources that we provide. But what we want to show you here for a few minutes is how are real estate agents or loan officers around the country utilizing Down Payment Connect and talking about down payment assistance in order to engage with new buyers. So Brian here is a real estate agent in Atlanta. You can see this is his homepage. He has added a couple sentences about down payment assistance and a graphic on the left and a click here button underneath, both of which are links to his Down Payment Connect page. So a very brief introduction to down payment assistance for his website visitors. And as we've been saying, that path to a solution. Down Payment Connect illustrates for those aspiring buyers a path to home ownership that includes down payment help, allowing them or enabling them to overcome that obstacle. So here's another example. Susan is also real estate in Metro Atlanta. She embedded the Down Payment Connect search form into a page on her website. So the buyer or the website visitor never actually leaves her website. She's just done this in an iframe on a page she dedicated to that down payment search. Now let's look at site navigation. And I'll show you another example of this live. But in the top navigation of your website, Angela here at Premier Homes has added a link that just says down payment assistance. And she has embedded or iframed that down payment search tool into that page that she created and added a link to in her site navigation. So if you click on down payment assistance, we're still on her page. She used an iframe for that page and just loaded her Down Payment Connect search. Here is an email, kind of flipping to email. So here's an example of one way to use this tool in your email signature, such that every email you send out includes a notification, if you will, to any email recipient that program or that you offer down payment assistance programs and a way to search for those available to that email recipient where they want to buy a home. So Sal, in this case, he's a loan officer. He's got his contact information website, apply now for a loan, of course, his address, and then at the bottom of his email signature, down payment money is available. See if you're eligible. That's his way of letting people know that when he emails them that there's down payment help out there, that he as a loan officer can help pre-qualify for those programs, and gives them a way to search for those opportunities and connect with him. I'll show you this one live as well, because there's a couple of interesting things going on here. This is just the top of a rather long page with a lot of educational content. Now, this is very different from just a couple sentences or a quick, short, enticing Facebook post, for example. But it's a great way to maybe drive social media traffic somewhere where they can learn even more. There's video. There's a lot of content on this page about down payment assistance programs. I'll show you more of that live. Then think about what do you offer a brand new client of yours, or what's their homework when you first meet them? What are the things you expect them to do or provide or research? Here's an example from a broker in Austin, Texas, that provides a checklist, a 3-step checklist to new clients. Step 1, find out what you can afford. And that includes having a candid conversation about cash to close, covering the down payment, covering the closing costs, covering fees, and so forth along the way. And making sure that if down payment assistance programs are needed or are of added value, that those options are explored. Then, of course, have that conversation with a loan officer. And then step 3, let's go find a home within your budget that meets your needs. So that's the takeaway for a new client for this particular broker. What do you offer new clients? What kind of homework are you giving them? And how are you speaking to overcoming the down payment obstacle, or covering closing costs, or acknowledging that these programs are out there and can help create new buyers? That's another interesting way to think about these. How many buyers could we create now if they knew about these programs? So from that same broker in Texas, he also set up, he's a veteran. And when he got into the business, he was doing a lot of work, and still does a lot of great work with veterans. And one of the things that he did early on was recognize that he was getting a lot of the same questions over and over. So he created a social media drip campaign that included asking and then answering some of those questions. Because think about it, is a first-time home buyer going to know to ask you about down payment assistance programs? Likely not. So part of what we're doing, part of what Raul here is doing, and what you can do, is make sure that you're proposing the questions that need to be asked, because a lot of these buyers may not know to ask if they don't know that down payment help is out there, for example, and then provide the answer. So anyway, one of those questions that went out in this drip campaign for his new clients was, when you're researching homes, what's the best way to look for down payment and closing cost assistance? So he's asking a question they may not even know to ask, but then also answering the question and providing Down Payment Connect as a path to a solution there. Now, we love this. We're going to show you some other social media examples here, but there's a few things I want to point out. So at the bottom, there's a post. That post is a story about a particular client that this real estate team in the Twin Cities in Minnesota helped get into her first home. They got permission to get pictures, use names. I haven't included all that here. And maybe you don't get the pictures or the names and you can keep it anonymous. But they told a very specific story about getting that buyer and her family into their first home with $12,000 in down payment and closing cost help. That is an excellent way to engage your prospective audience, the aspiring home buyers you're trying to reach. Let them know what their peers just did and that you can help accomplish that same thing. But I want to point to one other thing too. So this is a team. They've got their brokerage brand, their team brand. They've also branded their marketing and their outreach with their lender. They have lenders that they've worked with for years, this particular team in the Twin Cities, that are good at and do a lot of volume with down payment assistance programs. And so they confidently co-brand and co-market with that lender. So that's a great way for agents for, go find those loan officers or talk to your loan officers that you work with now and make sure that you have a plan for how are you going to deal with first-time home buyers. What down payment assistance programs are available? What are the best ones in your market? Are they savvy? Are they efficient? Are they proficient in those DPAs? And loan officers. I would hope you're out looking for purchase business. This is a great way, because I bet it's already happening in the chat or in the Q&A right now. But we will get, no doubt, we will get questions right here on this webinar. From real estate agents, how do I find lenders or loan officers that can help me with these programs? Loan officers, this is a great way for you to partner up with those realtors. Let them know you offer down payment assistance. Let them know what your strategy is for pre-qualifying and pre-approving first-time home buyers. Let them know that you're proficient with whatever DPA programs you offer, that you close on time, that they don't delay transactions. Help real estate agents overcome those inhibitions, perhaps, and then co-market. That's a great way to reach a wider audience. It's a great way to expand your referral network. So that's one of our favorites, but let's keep going. Video. This is actually from the same team in the Twin Cities, but this shows you what they're doing with video. Another great idea here for you. So look at the timestamps on all of these videos. They're a minute. They're all roughly 1 minute long. One is in the kitchen. One is in a hallway. One is in the corner of a room. You don't need Hollywood productions. And then look at what they're doing. They're asking a question that aspiring home buyers may not even know to ask, and then they're answering it in 1 minute. Super quick, super simple, and with enough of these, you can create drip campaigns or a library of content that you can repurpose and reuse or use to reach and educate more home buyers. So video, keep it simple, or at least that's one option, right? This is a team in Seattle, and what they did was build a down payment assistance page under advice for home buyers. You can see that at the top left. I'm going to show you this one live too, but this is actually filled with content, and they've embedded the search on the same page. So they're educating, they're offering a path to the solutions. And again, I'm going to show you this one live, but there's a hint at, what can we do to educate more buyers? If we're engaging on social media, can we drive them somewhere to give them a little bit more? Maybe they want a little bit more info or a little bit more confidence that there's a solution, and then they'll reach out, and Down Payment Connect can easily be the way they reach out to you. Ads, Facebook ads. Marilyn here is in Indianapolis. For a long time, she ran Facebook ads using Down Payment Connect. Look at the call to action. Look at the message. Many first-time home buyers qualify for down payment money. See if you qualify, and let's get shopping. And then she offers a path to her Down Payment Connect page. 2 sentences. Super simple call to action, super compelling, worked great for her. She got engaged leads. They responded, they were interested, and she figured out a great way to maximize her Down Payment Connect page. Instagram. So what are you doing on, let's just say, social media broadly, but let's look at Instagram. We looked at a couple Facebook examples. I have another 1 or 2 for you that we'll look at live. But what are you doing on social media in general? Talk about down payment assistance, address the issue, address the fact that you don't need 20% down. And by the way, here are programs that can help you accrue the 3 or 3.5 or 5% down that you need to purchase a home. Talk about these, put your Down Payment Connect link in your bio. There are tools like Linktree and others that allow you to add links to your Instagram bio. But give them content, give them answers, ask questions they don't know to ask, and then put solutions in front of them. That's how you win clients, or that's one way to win clients, especially right now in a complicated market, if you think of it through the lens of a first-time home buyer. And, some complications today that we didn't see for a while. So with that, I actually want to hop out here, and I want to take a live look at some of these examples. So, and there are some of them that have features or more content that I want to point out that you can't necessarily capture in a screenshot. So this one here, this is Brian. We looked at his homepage. He's got the link on the left. He's got a couple sentences on the right, and you can see the click here button. If I click that, or the down payment money is available icon, then I'm off to Brian's Down Payment Connect page. This is the consumer experience. Everything we're showing you is how to get the consumer to this page. But once they're here, they're doing a search for down payment programs where they want to buy a home. They don't have to have an address. In fact, they probably won't in a lot of cases, because they're earlier stage, trying to figure out how they're going to become home buyers. But maybe they know what city or what county they want to buy in, They can go on and answer questions about their estimated price, their income, their home ownership history, military service, whether or not they've worked in a certain profession for which there may be additional programs, for example, teachers. But whatever we do here is going to Brian or to you, right? And you're going to see this as we go. I'm not going to see all these 18 programs as a consumer, and that's not what we intend to do with Down Payment Connect. We want to connect that buyer to you and tell the buyer, hey, there are 18 programs out there. We can help you get down payment assistance, but we want to connect that buyer to you so that you can start that conversation or continue that dialogue. You can give them your educational content. You can help them move toward home ownership and make sure they know that there's down payment assistance out there to help them accomplish that goal. So let's look at a few more examples. We looked at site navigation, just adding a simple button. So here, this is a team in Florida under their buy menu, down payment assistance. Super simple. If I click on that, I'm off to their down payment tool. Brad and his team are going to help me out once I do my search. Susan, we looked at her website. So I just wanted to show you live. Here, we can do our search. We're not leaving her website. She's used an iframe, and she just built the experience into her site. So we start doing our search. I can type the word Atlanta here, and we click on get details, and we're off to the rest of her flow there. Under advice for buyers, this is that team in Seattle, by the way. Under advice for buyers, they have created this page for down payment assistance. So we have education here. We have content about household income, home ownership history, home buyer education classes, just a little bit more educational content. And then there's our search form embedded in the same page. We do our search, and Gerhard and his team are going to help us find all that down payment help where we want to buy a home. Now, I showed you this one too. This is a team in Richmond. So they've got this well-produced, nice video up front. They've got all kinds of educational content. This is all under Guide to Buying a Home, Down Payment Assistance. So they're whether you are driving people to a page like this from other, simpler, quick hitting, let's say Facebook, posts or ads or Instagram posts, they have added all kinds of educational content, and throughout they've woven in these links to Down Payment Connect. So that graphic, that's a link to Down Payment Connect. Do the program search right there, that's a link to Down Payment Connect. But they go on to talk about finances, home ownership history, profession. There's another link, that graphic, there's a link to Down Payment Connect. Sales price, geography, all of these different factors, they're offering more education. We love it. It's been written up. This page has been written up in Inman News and this team for what they're doing here regarding down payment assistance. Great way to engage buyers. And you can even see, like, they've got a search widget and a calculator on the right. In the past, they've had a contact form. Sometimes that's not what the buyer's looking for. Sometimes they're looking for someone to tell them that given your scenario, given your challenges, given your obstacles, given your misperceptions, there may still be a path to home ownership. Let me show you. That's what this page does. All right, blog. Let's change gears here. We hadn't looked at a blog yet. So do you have a blog? If so, if you're trying to keep it active and trying to keep content going on that blog to keep your audience engaged, you are likely always and forever in search of content or content ideas. Down payment assistance can be an endless trove of content. Here is a very simple example. This real estate agent has a blog. This post was about getting down payment assistance help. You can see they've used some of our graphics. There is a link to Down Payment Connect, in the sort of banner image here. As we scroll down to the content of the blog post, down payment money is out there. Let's find it. Couple of sentences here. What is down payment assistance? A little background. They used a video that we've made for you guys that's addressing home buyers. And then they end it with, we love this, a simple process. Click the button below. Enter your household information. Get your results. Let's talk about your results. That's exactly what we're trying to do, right? So, and then there's the link again to Down Payment Connect. So they're saying, here's a path to home ownership. do a search, find your programs, then let's talk. And they even say, let's talk and pair you with the best lenders who are experts in the programs you are eligible for. That's exactly what we're trying to accomplish. That's a great blog post, but it doesn't have to be on a blog, right? That could be on Facebook. That could be on a web page. Just showing you the example. We love the content. So 2 more examples here. I'm going to go to Facebook. So this is a great post just a couple weeks ago. Things to know if you're buying a home. They just reposted one of our own blog posts here at Down Payment Resource, 7 things all home buyers should know. While you're at it, weave in your Down Payment Connect link and offer a search for those down payment programs that drives them back to you. And one more, again, keeping it simple, 3 quick sentences. Down payment money is out there. Let's find it. Use my Down Payment Connect tool to find the programs available to you. Here's the link, off to the search. Great post, super simple. Shayna's in Detroit, engaging buyers that way on social media. And with that, let me give you a couple of additional links. So we've talked about subscribing to Down Payment Connect. I'm going to put our list of MLS partners up on the screen here in a moment. But if you want to subscribe to Down Payment Connect, I just posted the link to our Down Payment Connect page. Our MLS partner list is there too, and we have more coming soon. The marketing resources. So I mentioned that whether you have the free version through our MLS partners or you're subscribing, you also get our Down Payment Connect marketing resources. This includes a number of things: access to our help desk, our graphics library. I'm going to scroll a bit here, so I apologize. But our graphics library, we have images formatted for various social media platforms. I'll zoom in so you can see just various ways of saying, hey, down payment money is out there. Find help. Here are some that we made for Instagram, some really cool stuff. You saw a few of these as we went through our examples today. All kinds of different ways, again, of just saying, hey, down payment help is out there. Let me show you how to find it. You also get customizable flyers in English and in Spanish. We have Spanish language options. You can download any one of these. I'll zoom in on one. You can download any one of these, and at the bottom right, that whole section is customizable. They download to Word. You can save it, add your headshot, your logo, your contact info, add your Down Payment Connect URL. And then, of course, there are Spanish language options. You always have access to our live webinars, to our Realtor Facebook group. I'm going to show you that here in a minute. Reports, video tutorials, the social media training module, and more. That's all on the marketing resources page. And then, of course, I'll go ahead and throw this in there too. This is our education page. If you want to join future down payment resource webinars, I'm going to put this link in the Zoom chat. There's our webinar page. This webinar you're on today is done in rotation, and we update this with recent examples and so forth as we go. So with that, let me hop back in here and give you some kind of takeaways and wrap this up so we can get into Q&A. So we took a live look at a number of examples. Start more conversations. That's the goal. That's what Down Payment Connect is here to do. That's what we're here to show you how to do today, or show you how your peers have done so. Email signature, I won't go through all these, but social media, what are you doing? How can you inject down payment assistance? Video, what are you doing with video? Keep it simple. How can you inject video into your marketing outreach? Down Payment Connect can be used on your website, in your email signature, on social media. Be creative. These are just some ways that we've seen some of your peers use the tool and engage new audiences. And then, of course, leverage the experts. I mentioned earlier, every time we do a webinar like this, real estate agents are always asking, how can I find a loan officer who can help me with these programs? Agents, look for participating lenders in the program details. When you get a lead through Down Payment Connect, one of the first things you can do is click on the names of the programs that lead found and look at the list of that DPA provider's participating lenders. If you're a member of our MLS partner, that data is available to you as well through the down payment buttons on eligible listings. Anyone, you can always call your state housing finance agency. Look at their list of participating lenders. They may even publish a list of top producers, those that do the most volume and are clearly good at down payment assistance. And then, of course, develop partnerships with those lenders. We're not here to make loan officers out of all of the real estate agents on this call. We're here to let you know that those lenders are out there. And in fact, lenders, take this opportunity. If there are agents asking in the chat, hey, I'm in this market, I need a loan officer, then respond. Let them know where you do business and that you do DPAs. Agents also, and loan officers, think about hosting seminars with some of your DPA providers. Do they teach first-time homebuyer classes? Are you willing to do that as a way to expand your referral network, but also your client base, and to build a relationship with that DPA provider, because that's a great partner too. They may have networking events, they may have classes, they may have marketing content you can use. They're a great partner of yours as well. And then lastly, if you get the chance, loan officers, it's in the chat. Kevin's asking, loan officers needed for Mecklenburg County. If you're a loan officer and you're doing DPAs, here's a chance to connect with some people. Check out the chat. But anyway, loan officers or real estate agents, go to one of those homebuyer education classes with a client. It's not that you're missing anything or that we need to preach to the choir, but you may hear some unique messaging or hear some content that you can absorb into your marketing, into your messaging. We encourage you to do that, and your client would probably love it if you picked one soon and went to the class with them. I'll leave you with a couple things here. I've mentioned several times down payment insiders. There's the URL at the bottom here, and Marcy, if you don't mind, if you can post that in the chat as well. This Facebook group is for real estate agents, loan officers. There are nonprofits in there, counselors. There are some down payment assistance program providers that are in this group. And it's all about working with first-time home buyers, working with down payment assistance programs. They share challenges and obstacles and how they overcame them. They share success stories and case studies and what they did that was unique or different. They share marketing best practices all around DPAs and first-time home buyers. So you don't have to engage. You can just listen in and learn, or you can join the group and engage in the conversation and ask questions and so forth. Either way, we encourage you to join the group and use that as a forum through which to learn, to ask questions, to share stories, to teach, to educate, and so forth. And then a couple of sort of case studies here. So I'm going to give you two. Amber at the top was brand new to real estate and immediately started to find that first-time home buyers were asking her questions that she didn't have the answers for, and wasn't getting those buyers weren't getting answers or help from loan officers or other real estate agents. So what did she do? She dove into DPA. She's now an expert. She built her business on down payment assistance and working with first-time home buyers to make sure they got the answers and the help that they needed, including understanding down payment requirements and down payment assistance programs. Raul, we saw a couple examples of some things he's done at the bottom here. He was looking for a better way, especially to work with veterans and helping them with down payment and closing cost requirements. So here again is our list of MLS partners. If you are a member of one of these MLSs, Down Payment Connect is already available in your MLS dashboard and inside your MLS listing data, and it is free. It's all free as part of our partnership with these MLSs. We will be announcing a couple more by the end of April, and then of course we're always on working toward more MLS partnerships. But if you see your MLS here, you already have Down Payment Connect. We encourage you to go get your link. Some of you may have already done so. In fact, put it out on Facebook, and let's see if in the next 10 minutes you get any engagement. Throw that link out there and just say, hey, check this out. There might be down payment assistance for you, or whatever. Keep it simple, right? So if you're a member of one of these MLSs, you already have Down Payment Connect. If you're not, you can go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC, and agents and LOs, when you subscribe, you get a personalized landing page where consumers can do that down payment assistance search. No limit to the traffic or leads you get. It's month to month, pay as you go. Cancel anytime if it doesn't work or you don't like it. You get all the marketing tools and social media training we saw today. Loan officers, you also get a directory of all the programs in your state. You can customize which programs display based on what your company offers or participates in. and you have a back office search and comparison tool. With that, again, downpaymentresource.com/DPC. If you are interested in subscribing to Down Payment Connect, if you're a member of our MLS partners, log into your MLS, go to the Down Payment Resource button and get your free version. And if you have further questions that don't get answered here shortly when we get into Q&A, you can reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. So with that, Marcy, Amy, Veronica, Tracy, are you seeing any trends in the chat or Q&A that we need to address first, or any specific questions you want to bring up?
Sure, I've got one. So is there a link that could be sent via text to send the tool to the clients from the real estate agents?
Yeah, you could absolutely send, let's go back here. Pardon the scrolling, hold please. So if you're a member of one of these partners or you subscribe and you go in and you get your link and you land on your Down Payment Connect dashboard, that link for consumers, you could absolutely text that. And the whole Down Payment Connect platform for consumers is all mobile friendly. It's all mobile responsive. So it's going to look just as good on their phone or their iPad, no matter the orientation of the device. So yeah, you can absolutely text that or just post the link on Facebook or yeah, whatever you need. That URL can be used in any of those formats, including text. What else? Veronica, anything you want to address specifically?
As you had mentioned, there was a lot of questions in regards to how you locate loan officers or lenders that are participating in the programs. So you were accurate in saying that that would be asked. And then also, where does the contacts that fill out the application go to is one of the other questions asked.
So if a consumer fills out your Down Payment Connect page and submits that contact form, that goes to you and only you. It does not go to any lead carousel. We're not selling those leads or that data. That's not what Down Payment Connect is. It's your page, it's your tool, it's your lead exclusively. On your Down Payment Connect page. I also saw, just as an aside, somebody asked in the chat, is there live help afterward to embed the link? Everybody's got a different web platform, web page vendor, and so forth. I mean, we can guide you generally to, if you want to do something like, let's go back to an example here. If you want to do something like this, where you embed the search into a page on your site, or let's see, the team in Seattle did the same thing. So they have this site or this page on their website that's dedicated to down payment assistance. And then there's an iframe below, basically below here, there's this iframe. So they added an iframe, and instead of building out content, they just pointed to their Down Payment Connect URL. That's essentially what you're doing. Your web host or your website platform or your website editing system, they'll probably have some help desk content or something. If you need to figure out how to do an iframe on your specific website, we can try to help, but we're not necessarily website designers. We've built Down Payment Connect to be adaptable to various ideas on your own website. So anyway, sorry, I digress, but let's see. Amy, anything that you're seeing, any trends, any questions you want to address? All right, let me open up Q&A. So
I don't think I see anything, Sean, but thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go through a few that are left in the Q&A here. Is there a link that could be sent via text? We already answered that. Let's see. What's the link to where the contacts appear? Where the contacts appear. I'm not sure. Oh, so Jonathan, I think that's a reference to if you get a lead, or when you get a lead from Down Payment Connect, the contents of that lead that you get include who was it that did the search and was on your page, their contact info, because they have to plug that into the form. And it also includes where they searched. So was it by address? Was it by city? Was it by county? So you know where they're looking to buy a house. And then it includes the names of all the programs they found. And for you in the lead, those names are links to the details of those programs. The first thing we show you in those details is who the lenders are for that particular program, as published and approved by the program provider. Okay, so let me kind of scroll through the chat. We did record. We will get everybody the recording, so you'll have all that by probably Monday at the latest. Once we receive the information via email, after the client fills it out, what's the best way to address all the programs? Andrea, that is probably best handled through your loan officer partners. And it's a great opportunity to, one, build that relationship with a loan officer who does these programs, but also make that warm handoff, make sure that the loan officer is ready for a pre-qualification for that buyer that will likely use or need down payment assistance. And then the two of you come up with what your protocol is, what's your process for that. So yeah, once you receive the lead, as a real estate agent, you don't have to be an expert in all the programs. Does it hurt to have a little bit of knowledge about the benefits of some of the most common programs? No, not at all. And you have all the information at your fingertips to be able to do that. But that's the point at which I would say, open up the dialogue about getting pre-approved and connecting with a loan officer. So let's see. I'm seeing some chat stuff. I guess from our DPR staff, any last questions you want to address? I think we've answered most of them, unless there are some trends that I'm not seeing from earlier in the chat. Are we good to go?
I think we covered it all, Sean.
Okay, good deal. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining. We will get this recording out to you by Monday, and we encourage you to go get Down Payment Connect, whether you've already got it through your MLS or at downpaymentresource.com/DPC. Be creative, have fun. I hope this helped, and we'll see you on the next webinar. Thank you. Have a great day.